Hello and welcome to yet another segment of Unfiltered Dialogue. How much is the total cost if I want to make a farmhouse or an Airbnb in cities like these? Post COVID, there's been a good demand for holiday homes. So, Goa is predominantly a market for holiday homes. Now, social media has kicked in, and a lot of people think that social media brings them queries. What is your take on that? Hello and welcome to yet another segment of Unfiltered Dialogue. Today, we have with us architect Anju Roy. Hi Anju, how are you? I'm doing good. How are you? I have been well. Anju, give me a short intro about what kind of projects have you been doing since the last 2 decades? Right. So for the audience, I am architect Anju Roy, and I'm into this business for the last 15, 20 years now. What do I do best? I do luxury design. So luxury design in terms of architecture and interiors both. My segment is purely luxury residential design. Anju, before coming here, we were doing our research and we found out that you are doing some projects in Goa and Guwahati. Yeah. So, as an audience, if I'm watching this video, how much is the total cost if I want to make a farmhouse or an Airbnb in cities like these? See, number one, let's consider why Goa, why sitting here as architects. Now we are venturing out to cities like Goa. Post-COVID, there's been a good demand for holiday homes. So Goa is predominantly a market for holiday homes. And then you have segments for holiday homes. You can buy villas, you can buy big plots, you can have a big farmhouse staycation, you can have apartments as well. And you can buy an apartment, you can lease an apartment. So whichever way you're doing it, the property market is booming there. Design, again, is one of the integral parts wherever you have property action happening. So yes, I am involved in Goa projects. Currently on my board, we have a very beautiful luxury villa that we are designing. This is on a very happening stretch, which I'm sure everybody is familiar with. It's the Asagaon Anjuna segment. Then I'm doing an apartment complex, which we are designing like a whole story. It's complete architecture, interiors, furniture, everything done, including the artwork, accessories. The whole design language is complete. The client just walks in with a key. And again, this is on the same stretch, Asagaon Anjuna Road, and I'm thoroughly enjoying my work in Goa. Wonderful. Yeah. Moving forward, Anju, so word of mouth was a thing in our decade when we were working. Yes. But now social media has kicked in. And a lot of people think that social media brings them queries. What is your take on that? Yeah, right. So I am using social media. I have a beautiful Instagram page. We work hell lot on it. And my kind of segment is a luxury segment. And the most ideal client in this segment is not on Instagram. Their extended families could be on Instagram, sons, daughter, wives, etc., etc. But exactly if you say the client is on Instagram, no. So what we are doing is we are making our visibility. We are making our standing out there in the media. But I wouldn't really say that I'm picking up business from Instagram. My business predominantly comes through word of mouth because there are huge amounts involved and we purely work on trust. So projects like these come through references where we've already gained that trust, where the relationship is already prevalent, and these are bigger segments, big money involved here. So most of my projects, I would proudly say, come through word of mouth. Wonderful. Yeah. Moving forward, Anju, like sustainability is a word and everybody has been using it commonly. Yeah. Unapologetically, luxury has become this word. Everywhere. We recently came from Amritsar. Okay. Then we were in Jodhpur and everybody says, I'm doing luxury residences. Right. So as an architect, how do you pursue luxury and why is this so common? See, we are designers and we do deep custom design. So coming from the ground rules, I would say, like if you were to buy a garment for yourself, you buy it off the shelf, a regular market. You want upmarket, you go to Zara and buy it. But there is a segment of people who say, no, I want it further customized. So they go to bigger designers who come with better finish. They come with a very unique concept that's tailored for you. So I would say that I fall in a category where I'm custom designing homes for people. So automatically that is the luxury segment. And I've been doing that for years now. So my clientele is a clientele who wants everything customized to their needs. So if they are well traveled and they've seen something abroad and they want that replicated, for them cost is not a concern. They come with bigger plot sizes. I'm catering to that segment. I'm doing penthouses, I'm doing villas, I'm doing big family homes. So luxury automatically becomes a part and parcel of my project. So luxury in person, I use it in various... luxury is not defined by price or by scale. Even for a regular 200 square yard house, if I was to do a beautiful balcony for the lady of the house, which I just recently finished, she wanted a vertical herb garden. Consistently throughout the project, every time we would sit, she would say, "Wo ho jayega na, my herb garden. I want this corner." So even in the elevation, that segment was kept for a herb garden. So for that lady, that small herb garden was a specialty or a luxury to her. She wanted a kitchen garden. Whereas some clients somewhere would want a home theater, a very dedicated, a very expensive home theater. They would want the best of leather recliners. So luxury is deeply personal. It's different things to different people. And I entertain all. And I'm able to deliver it to them. That's great. Moving further, so as I mentioned, Amritsar and Jodhpur, right? Pune, Guwahati, these are tier 2 cities. Yeah. And as we travel and we meet 300 architects every month, we have this thing in mind that tier 2 is the actual Bharat. That's the real goal we have. Okay. And in the next 3 decades, you're going to see immense change in India. Yeah. Everybody is investing in their homes. So what is your take on that? So yes, all the queries which come from these areas. In fact, of late, I got a query from Vrindavan. Now, the client, I really liked it that post a conversation in the meeting, he said, yeah, I think you can translate the legacy that I have in Vrindavan, my years of family legacy, into a beautiful modern home. I mean, that summed it up for me. I was very happy. So these cities, there are segments where people are wanting to do luxury. They can afford luxury. And all of these elements are coming from metro cities. So they're hiring architects either from Bombay, Bangalore, Delhi, because we are more exposed to these elements. And yes, it's real pleasure doing projects in these cities, I would say, because the plot sizes are big. We are doing 2,000 square yards and bigger plot. This space too, there is more space, yeah. So when there is more space, there's more luxury, I would say. Yeah. Which Delhi is not getting right now. Yeah, Delhi is going vertical and land is getting more expensive. So yes. Anju, how would you define Anju Roy and your design practice in, say, 2 lines? In 2 lines. One, I enjoy doing what I do. And design for me is not limited to buildings and interiors. For me, design is a way of life. I mean, every single frame, whether it's, if I have to take a picture of something, or if I have to put together an attire for somebody, anything which has something to do with proportion, texture, colors, all of these things, I see design in everything. I just cannot detach myself from design. So I think this was the best job for me and I'm happy doing it.